News Channel 15 presents The Film Reel, the talk show where we discuss everything going on in the world of movies and television, with hosts Bryce West and Ian Lloyd. This is The Film Reel. Hello, welcome back into The Film Reel, the talk show where we discuss everything going on in the world of movies and television. I'm Bryce West.
And I'm Ian Lloyd.
And we've got a little bit of a different episode for you all today, another shorter one today. We're going to be sort of talking about the leftovers.
All leftovers.
All leftovers. So a lot of the stuff that we watched over the summer or things that came out over the summer or things that come out after we're going to be done with the film reel, just things that we want to talk about that we didn't get the chance to talk about during season 4 of the film reel. And then be sure to join us later on this week, Friday at 6, for the season 4 finale of the film reel. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the new movie. But right now, let's get straight into the leftovers. We got leftover steak, leftover some taters. But first off, before we get to the steak and potatoes, we're going to be talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. This is the 30th anniversary reunion special for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This was a Netflix original film special kind of thing. It was only around like 50 minutes. But basically, we see a lot of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers crew returning for this. And it sort of leads into the upcoming season, which we'll be talking about later today. I'm a huge fan of Power Rangers. I know I'm an absolute loser. But this was actually a pretty good, return to form for the Rangers. It was really cool to see a lot of these characters come back, because a lot of these characters haven't been seen since the 90s. So a lot of these actors haven't been seen since the 90s, at least not in something like really big. So especially other than Power Rangers. So it was really cool to see a lot of these cast members and characters return for this. Honestly, I'd like to see them do more stuff like this in the future. I doubt it costs a lot of money. And Power Rangers is a non-union show, so they don't have to follow by any of those rules. So, it's a very cheap show to make, but I think something more along those lines would be really cool to see more in the future.
Yeah, well, okay, that's your first one. For me, I watched a movie way early this summer called Blackberry, and it's a biopic. We've been seeing a lot of biopics about like the creation of like different products and such. We've had Air, we've had Tetris, we've had Flamin' Hot. But this one really spoke to me because instead of having a story that's a feel-good movie about like, oh, capitalism and you can make your way up in the world, this is about the rise and fall of the BlackBerry phones. And It's really funny. It's filmed in the way that's like handheld, so it looks like somebody shooting on home video. And it's frantic. It's got some great performances from Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny. It's got Jay Baruchel for the first time in a while that I've seen him in a movie. And director of himself, Matt Johnson, is also playing like a key role in this movie. And it's a blast. This is one of my favorite movies of the year, and I think you should check it out.
Sounds pretty cool. Is it streaming anywhere?
Not yet. Hopefully soon.
It sounds kind of interesting, though. I definitely plan to check it out at some point. Moving on to my next thing. It's a little something really out of pocket, and definitely not something that we usually cover on the show. But iCarly, the revival. Look, is it a good show?
Is it?
No.
Oh.
But it's kind of like one of those guilty pleasures. I turn it on, and it's just like. I mean, I like the character. I grew up with the show as a kid, and so I mean, it's like nostalgia, But I mean, iCarly is just begging to be canceled because they end off on these really stupid cliffhangers almost every season, and it's not like one of those cliffhangers where it's just like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. It's one of those just like eye roll kind of things, just like it's like, well, it's like. like, you know how sometimes like shows will like purposely end on a cliffhanger, so the network will have to renew us, or else the fans will be upset. It kind of feels like that, but like every season,
That's
like
a
they're
bummer.
like almost like blackmailing Paramount Plus to to renew them. It's like, hey, if you don't give us another season, everybody's gonna be really mad because we ended this on a really dumb cliffhanger. In this season, it was cool to see Carly and Freddie actually, get together after like a billion years of them like constantly like teasing their relationship and never doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Even in the original show. So it's nice to finally see that pay off.
Well, there you go. We've been talking about like some newer stuff that's been releasing, but something that I finally watched for the first time. Now this is going to be taking us back like about 100 years or so. Is the works of Buster Keaton and silent films. Mostly his early stuff. I watched Sherlock Jr., some of his shorts like 1 Week, The Navigator, and these films are so funny and so ahead of their time, and I feel like they still hold up. And you can see we've been like talking about movies recently, like Mission Impossible, that take a lot of influence from the silent film actors and stars who just go to great lengths to entertain, even if it puts them into dangerous way.
Yeah.
And the commitment Buster has to all of these roles is insane. I can't believe somebody will push themselves that hard to like make something this good. So, hey, if you get the chance, most of his movies are like an hour long.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, just go watch them. They're so good.
Is that where you watch them on like YouTube and stuff?
Yeah, YouTube, Tubi.
They're on Tubi?
Tubi as well. I think there's a whole collection on the Criterion Collection if you want really good quality, but they're all out there and pretty accessible.
Neat. Alrighty. I've got a little bit of an older one too. This is an anime. Whoa, we hardly ever talk about those on this show, but Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Evangelion?
Yeah, you're right. That's totally how you say it.
This
Evangelion,
guy,
sorry.
fake fan.
Sorry. But I actually do really love this show.
Yeah.
It's really short. It's only like 26 episodes, so if you're looking to get into something, I don't know if this would be a good show for somebody trying to just get into anime.
No, bad jumping on point.
But it is pretty short if you're already into it. There's not that huge of a commitment. I absolutely adore the finale of the show.
Yes.
I think it's one of those like where it really makes you think. You're kind of going like, what in the world did I just watch? And I really liked it about that. I'm the only person to ever have this opinion ever, but apparently, I did not like the ending movie that they had. I thought a lot of the things that they did in there was just unnecessarily like gross, like not safe for work wise. And just overall, I just preferred the TV ending better. But
I think that's a valid opinion. A lot of people will disagree, but like, even though I love the ending movie, it's rancid and it's meant to upset you.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know. I feel like the show is such a perfect like thing. It's like it's like short, but like extremely raw in its emotions, and I think it rules.
Right. With that being said, we're going to take a quick break, and after this, we're going to give you more of our leftover picks for Film Reel Season 4 after this.
News Channel 15, winner of the Intercollegiate Broadcasting System Award for the nation's best community college TV station.
Summer is heating up, and so are the savings at Timberlake Furniture. The 2023 summer sale is underway. Take 23% off of all closeout items. Make sure you have the best indoor escape from the summer heat. Check out our large selection of bedroom suites from the name brands you know and trust. And be prepared to entertain this summer by browsing the area's largest selection of dining room sets. Visit the Tri-State's largest showroom with the largest selection, Timberlake Furniture, so your house feels like home.
Before coming to Senior Enrichment Center, I was so depressed that I couldn't get out of bed. That all changed once I started seeing Danielle, the social worker, and Melanie, the nurse. They have been so kind, and they truly care about my health. They have helped me to be able to go out and have shown me the importance of how to deal with my problems in a more constructive way. I think anyone who is experiencing grief, depression, anxiety, or isolation can benefit from this program. The Senior Enrichment Center has changed my life.
Welcome back into the film room. We've got the leftovers today. These have been sitting in the fridge for a while. We've been wanting to talk about them. And here's our chance before the end of the Film Reel Season 4, the season finale airing this Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. But yeah, let's get right back into it. Actually, you're starting. Sorry.
My turn. My next movie is called Past Lives. It's a newer film. It was only in theaters for like a few weeks, especially like local theaters. But this movie is just so fantastic. It is well written. It's very slow. It's methodical, but like it's always engaging. And it's just basically a story about just three people reconnecting and like talking about their emotions together. And
cool.
I find these movies so compelling, and this one's definitely worth a check out if that sounds interesting to you.
Neat.
And other than that, I also wanted to talk about a movie series that I've been neglecting for far too long. These movies scared me as a kid when I walked past the covers on like the shelf at the Family Video. I'm talking about Gremlins, all right? These movies are insane and hilarious. They're like Looney Tunes, but also horrific. And it reminds me a lot of the Evil Dead series, which is one of my favorites of all time. And watching Gremlins for the first time was just kind of like a reawakening experience. Because I felt like I was like home, you know? But it was also a reassessment like, oh, I could not have handled this as a kid at all. But these movies are fantastic. I'm gonna watch them so many times.
Those are the Gremlins movies. I haven't seen them either. They've definitely been something I've been wanting to watch because I feel like it'd be right up my alley too.
They're such a blast.
Are either of those streaming anywhere? Gremlins, probably.
I think they're
HBO?
both on Max.
Okay, or sorry, not HBO Max.
Wow,
Max.
Can't believe you got that wrong.
What a stupid name for. Okay. Anyway, we got a whole episode about that. But anywho, moving on now. Another movie I want to talk about is Shin Kamen Rider. This is based off of the popular Japanese franchise Kamen Rider, and this was a really interesting film. It almost felt like you were watching like 5 different like episodes that they put together in the movie. It was kind of interesting, but the action was really cool. I thought the costumes were pretty neat, and that one is actually streaming now on Prime Video.
Yeah,
so
I need to catch it.
And there we go. Now we're going to be moving on to some stuff that is going to be coming out here in the future that we won't get the chance to talk about. Moving on now to Blue Beetle. I think this one is, what a shame.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not going to do well.
What a shame. I mean, it's a DC movie, so it's kind of trapped in that little, like they're getting ready to reboot, and then, and now we have sort of the leftovers, and you know, I think Blue Beetle is going to really get caught up in the bunch, and
and I think overall audiences are just not into DC movies at the moment. They do not want to go see these at all. That may change when like the reboot happens, but I don't know. There's a little hope for this one.
Right.
It's my turn. So I'm really excited about the new Ethan Coen movie, Drive Away Dolls. This is I think the first time Ethan Coen has stepped away from his brother Joel in directing, so he's doing it by himself. And this movie looks funny. This movie looks kind of intense, and it looks like a throwback to like 80s and 90s like thrillers, kind of like the early stuff the Coen brothers did, like with Fargo, Raising Arizona, stuff like that. So I'm extremely excited about this one.
Cool. My next pick is going to be Ahsoka, Star Wars, the Disney Plus series. It's going to be sort of a spinoff of The Mandalorian, set around the same time. But I think it'll be good. For the most part, the Disney Plus Star Wars stuff has been pretty good, besides maybe Boba Fett. But I've got high hopes for this. I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah. My next one is a film that technically already released in Japan, has yet to get a international release. It's called The Boy and the Heron. It's the new Ghibli film, and more importantly, the newest film by Hayao Miyazaki, director of beloved classics like Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke and all that. I'm so ticked that I can't watch this right now. I have to wait until they decide to release it here. It's a bummer.
Man, with that being said, be sure to check out all the stuff that we talked about. They're all really good. Both the previous stuff and the stuff coming out here in the future. And thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned next week for the season finale of The Film Reel.